Hi everyone, I'm Sid and I'm working with Anna and Devin on a marketplace for Festo.
Hi, my name is Anna Vukojevic, and I'm going to introduce you to the company we were partnered with, Festo. Festo is a German company centered around industrial control and automation. They produce and sell pneumatic and electrical control and drive technology for factory and process automation. We worked on technology that would be specifically useful to their 3D printing department.
Festo was in need of a digital marketplace to provide stakeholders a method of sending transactions to automated systems when they were available. Our project specifically focused on providing orders to the 3D printing department. Any of this would have been easily implemented as a standard marketplace over a SQL server, PHP, JavaScript, and a bit of HTML. But we're computer scientists, so we decided to take it up another level and make the entire marketplace on the blockchain. A quick aside, while blockchain is a trendy phrase that's passed around these days, most people have no idea what it is or how it works. In essence, the blockchain is any form of data that is replicated across multiple servers. In order to maintain the integrity of the blockchain, however, each user has to keep a fully updated copy of the blockchain, something called persistence. Maintaining this persistence requires for every update to the blockchain to be validated across all of the owners of the blockchain. This process of adding transactions to the blockchain is called mining and often requires a substantial amount of processing power since the blockchain or ledger is contained in its entirety on each of the nodes in which it's hosted. So for a blockchain with billions of transactions, you can imagine that the ledger would be significantly large. So this certainly seems more complicated, but there are benefits to developing our marketplace like this. First, having a marketplace set up will allow for automation of the ordering process through available systems, which will help all stakeholders involved. This advantage is true of both traditional marketplace and a blockchain marketplace, but in the blockchain marketplace, we have added security. We can trust that the ledger for all transactions is held between all stakeholders, and the nature of the blockchain makes it so it is much less vulnerable to attack than traditional SQL-based systems. All of this results in a more secure and simplified system for the users.
Our final product was a decentralized application built from the Truffle framework. The framework itself is known for simplified creation and deployment of smart contracts, which we use to implement order submissions and user authentication all through blockchain. While these were the processes we used, the functionality of the application itself is for users to submit orders to Festo's 3D printing department, as well as allow employees in the 3D printing department to manage new orders and charge users for the orders they submitted. The company has an internal system in place to do all of this manually, but now steps to that process are either expedited or automated through this application. The blockchain smart contracts map user addresses to their newly submitted orders. Employees can then log in and view what orders have been submitted, as well as charge users directly using the address used to submit the order. The contracts also handle transactions both for the cost of the 3D printing as well as the cost to submit the order through blockchain.
How we measure success. For us, success was not just about the deliverable. It was also about the new concepts we learned. None of us had ever worked with blockchain to this extent before, and with studying blockchain, we also learned about frameworks like Truffle and Ganache. Truffle being a development environment for blockchains, and Ganache being a personal blockchain used for testing and development. We also gained a lot of experience in dealing with unexpected setbacks, which we also consider to be a measure of success. We had to deal with some team changes as we had a few team members drop out partially through the year. We also learned to accommodate an evolving project. The more we discussed the project with Festo, the more the scope evolved to fit their needs and our expectations.
Many of the lessons we learned stemmed from mistakes we made during the planning and development processes. The first and arguably most important was how crucial it is to be flexible when plans change. After losing 2 team members, we tried to salvage as much of our project plan as we could, but quickly understood we would have to make drastic changes and reevaluate every single part of the plan. This was an immediate distressor, and while we were able to bounce back eventually, having been more flexible from the moment these changes occurred would not only reduce stress within the team, but allowed us more time to develop our final product. Through this, however, we were able to realize the value in communication between all parties of the project. Thanks to open communication between our TA, professor, and sponsor, we were able to bounce back from the time of uncertainty to better off than we were before. Another lesson we learned came in the middle of the development process. This was understanding that one of our best options in working with a project that may not be a part of our wheelhouse is looking for others' work for reference or use in our own project. In other words, we don't reinvent the wheel. Before we discovered the Truffle framework, we were learning how to design a decentralized application completely from scratch and create smart contracts through Ethereum that would have taken 10 times longer than it did to use a framework that did all the work for us. We saved an incredible amount of time by doing our own research beforehand and understanding it's okay to use pre-existing options.